Imagine planning the most significant moment of your son's life, not with joy, but with an intricate strategy for ultimate justice. You're about to expose a deep betrayal in front of everyone who matters, at a celebration that will become infamous. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Hazel. Grab your coffee, because today we have a story of calculated family drama. Our storyteller, Gideon, had been married to Margot for 23 years. They built a beautiful life together, raising their son, Lennox, who is now graduating high school. Gideon believed they had a strong, loving partnership, one that could weather any storm. He dedicated his life to his family, working tirelessly to provide and ensure their comfort. Margot was a vibrant woman, always social and very involved in community events. Gideon loved that about her, appreciating her outgoing nature and passion for life. But over the last year, a subtle shift began to occur in their household dynamic. Margot started staying out later, often citing charity meetings or book club events. At first, Gideon didn't think much of it. He trusted his wife implicitly. Then, the little inconsistencies started piling up, like crumbs leading to a hidden truth. Margot's phone was always face down, and she became exceptionally secretive with her messages. She started dressing differently too, opting for more stylish and revealing outfits. Gideon tried to talk to her, gently asking if everything was all right, if she was happy. Margot would dismiss his concerns with a wave of her hand, saying he was being paranoid. The distance between them grew, a silent chasm widening with each passing day. One evening, Gideon overheard Margot on the phone, her voice hushed and conspiratorial. She was making plans to meet someone, using pet names that were definitely not meant for him. A cold dread settled in Gideon's stomach. He knew deep down what this meant. He wrestled with the possibility, hoping he was wrong, praying it was a misunderstanding. But the evidence was too compelling, the feeling of betrayal too sharp to ignore. Gideon decided he needed proof, not just for himself, but for his own sense of sanity. He began to discreetly observe Margot, confirming his worst suspicions. He noticed her car parked regularly outside a specific address on the other side of town. It was the home of Silas, a man Margot had met through one of her community groups. Gideon remembered Silas as charming, a bit too charming perhaps at their last social gathering. His heart sank as he watched Margot enter Silas's house, staying for hours. This wasn't a book club, this was a secret relationship, a complete disregard for their vows. Gideon felt a profound sense of loss, like his entire world had just been shattered. The betrayal cut deeper than any wound, leaving him feeling hollow and humiliated. He confronted Margot, presenting her with what he knew, hoping for an explanation, an apology. Margot, however, didn't confess. She became defensive, turning the blame back on Gideon. She accused him of being controlling and jealous, twisting the narrative completely. This reaction solidified Gideon's resolve. She wasn't just cheating, she was manipulating him. He decided then that he would not just divorce her quietly. She needed to face consequences. The perfect opportunity soon presented itself. Lennox's high school graduation. It was a huge event attended by family, friends, and the entire community. Margot had been planning every detail, relishing in the attention and the celebratory atmosphere. She had no idea that Gideon was meticulously planning an entirely different kind of spectacle. He wanted his revenge to be public, undeniable, and utterly devastating for her. This strategy was complex, requiring careful timing and a specific prop. Gideon knew that Margot's reputation meant everything to her, and he was about to completely dismantle it, brick by painful brick. Gideon's plan hinged on one specific item that he had been safeguarding for months. It was a photograph, innocent looking to an outsider, but lethal in his hands. This picture captured Margot in a moment that would shatter her perfectly crafted image. He had kept it hidden, waiting for the perfect, most public moment to unleash its power. And what could be more public than their son Silas's high school graduation? The day finally arrived, a beautiful, sunny morning filled with excitement and anticipation. Silas was buzzing with pride, completely unaware of the storm brewing around his parents. Margot, of course, was dressed impeccably, beaming with her characteristic, almost performative joy. She moved through the crowd, accepting congratulations and compliments, radiating self-satisfaction. She truly believed she had everyone fooled, that her life was a testament to her flawless character. Gideon watched her from a distance, a calm, almost serene expression on his face. Inside, however, a storm of resolve was raging, preparing for its ultimate release. He held the photograph tucked secretly within his graduation program. His heart was pounding, but his hands were steady, ready for the crucial moment. They took their seats in the front row, a prime position for what was about to unfold. The principal began the ceremony, delivering a heartfelt speech about achievement and future endeavours. One by one, the graduates walked across the stage, accepting their diplomas and cheers. Margot occasionally glanced at Gideon, offering a patronising smile, completely oblivious. She thought she had won, that she had successfully navigated their separation without public embarrassment. Then, the moment arrived. Silas's name was called, and a roar of applause erupted. He walked confidently across the stage, an innocent smile on his face, shaking hands with the faculty. As Silas reached the end of the stage, ready to descend, Gideon made his move. He stood up slowly, deliberately, drawing a few curious glances from those nearby. Margot looked at him, a flicker of annoyance crossing her features, wondering what he was doing. Gideon then unfolded the large, glossy photograph he had carefully concealed. He held it up high, facing the entire audience, for everyone to clearly see. A collective gasp rippled through the hundreds of attendees in the auditorium. The photo was a crisp, undeniable image of Margot in a very compromising embrace. She wasn't embracing Gideon, or even a casual friend. She was with another man. The man was not just any man, but a prominent, very married, local businessman. His name was Lennox Thorne, a well-known figure in their community. The location was distinctly recognizable, the back patio of Margot's new apartment. Margot's face went from confusion to utter horror in a fraction of a second. Her jaw dropped, her eyes wide with shock and pure, unadulterated panic. The perfect facade she had meticulously built over decades instantly shattered. She lunged forward, a desperate, choked cry escaping her lips, trying to snatch the photo. But Gideon was too quick, stepping back, keeping the incriminating evidence on display. The murmurs grew louder, turning into whispers and shocked exclamations. People pointed, some gasped, others shielded their children's eyes, not that it helped. Silas, still on the stage, turned and saw the image, his face draining of all colour. His happy moment, his triumphant day, was instantly overshadowed by this public exposure. Margot was shaking, her perfectly coiffed hair now seeming dishevelled, her composure gone. Gideon, still holding the photo aloft, simply looked at her, his eyes cold and unwavering. He didn't say a word, letting the picture speak volumes, letting the truth unravel her. It was a silent, devastating declaration of the betrayal she had inflicted upon him. The murmurs started, a low hum that quickly grew into gasps of disbelief from the crowd. People leaned in, whispering, trying to make sense of the scene unfolding before them. Silas, the graduate, finally understood what the photo meant, his face turning pale. His proud smile vanished, replaced by a look of utter confusion and then deep hurt. He looked from the photo to his father and then to his mother, seeking an explanation. Margot, cornered and exposed, tried to deny it, but her voice was a strangled whisper. She stammered something about it being a misunderstanding, a cruel joke. But the picture was undeniable, a clear snapshot of her secret life with another man. Gideon slowly lowered the photo, his gaze still fixed on Margot, his work complete. He had delivered his truth, not with anger, but with a quiet, devastating finality. The air was thick with tension, the joy of graduation replaced by a heavy silence. Silas, caught in the middle, felt the weight of his parents' crumbling marriage. This wasn't the triumphant celebration he had envisioned for his milestone day. It was the day his family shattered in front of hundreds of witnesses. Margot's carefully constructed facade had completely crumbled, leaving her exposed. Her reputation, her carefully cultivated image, was now in tatters for all to see. Gideon had chosen his moment with surgical precision, maximizing the impact. He wanted her to feel the public humiliation she had inflicted upon him in private, and judging by her reaction, he had certainly achieved his desired effect. She stood there, frozen, unable to escape the crushing weight of the revelation. This wasn't just about a marriage ending, it was about public accountability. Hazel here, and let's talk about the sheer audacity of Margot's deception to maintain such a significant affair while planning for a, quote, fresh start with Gideon. It speaks volumes about her belief that she could manipulate situations endlessly. She truly thought she could have her cake and eat it too, with no consequences. But Gideon was not a man to be trifled with, especially when it came to his family. His quiet demeanour hid a deep sense of justice and a very sharp mind for strategy. He didn't erupt in anger. He planned, he waited, and he executed his plan flawlessly. The choice of graduation day was a masterstroke, a moment of high visibility. It ensured maximum exposure for Margot, leaving no room for denial or cover-up. And the impact on Silas, while painful, was also a necessary unveiling of truth. He deserved to know the reality of his mother's character, not just the polished version. This wasn't about hurting Silas, but about Gideon reclaiming his own narrative. It was about preventing Margot from rewriting history and casting him as the villain. She wanted to leave him, take half his assets, and walk away clean with her secret. But Gideon wasn't going to let her control that narrative, not anymore. He flipped the script, turning her moment of triumph into her moment of reckoning. The crowd was now buzzing, some sympathetic to Gideon, others aghast at the scene. But everyone understood the gravity of what just transpired on that stage. Margot's perfect world, built on deceit, was crumbling before everyone's eyes. Her hopes for a quiet divorce and a new life were now completely jeopardized. The reputation she had so carefully cultivated was now in ruins, utterly destroyed. And all because of one photograph, one moment of undeniable truth. Gideon had proven that sometimes the quiet ones are the most dangerous. He had won this round, and the implications for Margot were just beginning to unfold. Margot's composure completely evaporated, replaced by a look of pure, unadulterated horror. The cheers for her son quickly morphed into an uncomfortable silence, then a wave of shocked whispers. Every eye in that auditorium was now fixed on her, not with admiration, but with bewildered judgment. Her perfectly manicured world, built on years of deception, was publicly crumbling around her. Gideon simply watched, a quiet, almost serene expression on his face, the storm he unleashed now raging. The son, caught between his parents, must have felt a profound sense of confusion and betrayal. This wasn't just a photograph, it was an undeniable testament to Margot's profound duplicity, and just like that, her reputation as the devoted wife and pillar of the community was irrevocably stained. So, grab your mugs, because this is where we really dive into the depths of justified consequences. Sometimes the quietest acts of revenge are the ones that resonate the loudest and cause the most damage. Gideon wasn't loud or aggressive, but his precision was absolutely chilling in its effectiveness. He didn't want a shouting match, he wanted a complete dismantling of Margot's entire facade. And that photo, strategically placed at her son's graduation, achieved exactly that. Think about the meticulous planning, the patience required to wait for the perfect moment. It speaks volumes about the depth of betrayal Gideon must have felt, simmering beneath the surface. Margot's actions weren't just a private affair, they were a public performance of devotion. She cultivated an image, and Gideon tore it down piece by piece, right when it hurt the most. This kind of justice, while painful to witness, often feels incredibly cathartic for the wronged party. It's not about violence, it's about restoring balance. When someone has so blatantly disrespected trust, the legal ramifications for Margot were only just beginning, a whirlwind of inquiries and accusations. Her community projects, her professional standing, her social circle, all were now under intense scrutiny. You can't lead with integrity when your personal life is exposed as a carefully constructed lie. And the fallout for her secret relationship partner, well, their life likely became quite complicated too. Because when one domino falls, it often takes a whole row of them down along with it. This story is a powerful reminder that actions have consequences whether you acknowledge them or not. Margot thought she was invincible, that her charm and influence would shield her from reality. But reality, in the form of a perfectly timed photograph, has a way of catching up eventually. It's a harsh lesson, yes, but sometimes those are the lessons we need to truly learn from. It also highlights the pain of a son, having to witness his parents' messy separation so publicly. While Gideon delivered justice, the collateral emotional damage within the family is always profound. There's no clean break when betrayal runs this deep and is exposed on such a grand scale. But for Gideon, after years of perceived indignity and deceit, this was his ultimate reclamation. He didn't seek to destroy her physically, but to dismantle the carefully crafted illusion she presented. And in that, he succeeded spectacularly, leaving her to face the genuine repercussions of her choices. This tale isn't just about revenge, it's about the inherent fragility of a life built on falsehoods. It's about the quiet strength of someone pushed too far, who finally decides to take back their narrative. Margot underestimated Gideon, believing him to be the passive husband she could easily manipulate. But quiet people often observe the most, gather the most evidence, and plan with the most precision. This wasn't an act of impulse, it was a calculated strike, years in the making perhaps. Ripples of this moment would undoubtedly affect Margot's life for a very long time to come. Her professional opportunities, her social standing, even her personal relationships would be impacted. Because once that trust is broken so publicly, it's incredibly difficult to ever truly rebuild it. And that, my friends, is the true cost of living a double life. So, what do you think? Was Gideon justified in his very public unveiling of Margot? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories. It's always fascinating to see how these situations unfold and the different perspectives people have. I love hearing your thoughts and diving into the nuances of human behaviour together. Thank you so much for joining me today and for sharing your time with Hazel. We'll be back very soon with another captivating tale of drama, revenge, or family antics. Until then, stay cozy, stay curious, and always trust your instincts. Make sure you confronted that notification bell so you don't miss our next story. And remember, sometimes justice is served one public revelation at a time.